I'm in now. We locked in. We locked in.
Quality group right there.
It looks like we've grown together. That's what
Yeah,
it
go
looks
listen
like.
to my
Right.
new song, Tony. Stop playing with me. I don't even know if you listen to it. You listen to my song yet?
Yeah,
What do you think about it? Good.
it's okay. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, it's no. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's just fire. That's
Yo,
just fire.
Shit is wild.
That shit is
side,
fire because I got my
side.
headset on.
Shit
I
is
got my headset
ass.
on, and I like
That's
muted everybody and turned that
yeah.
shit up, bro. Hold on, that shit hits differently when you have your
Stop
headset on.
lying,
That
son.
shit
That
hits
shit is
differently.
that shit is peak, bro.
He said
Peak.
aside.
No, it's peak.
He said aside, bro. Aside.
It hits differently when you have your
He
headset on.
said,
I got like noise
I can hold
cancellation
on.
headphones.
Let me take some shrooms, and then I'm gonna press play, and then
Press play, bro.
we're
It's
gonna
not.
run it
It's
back.
like, yo, listen. It's light. It's nothing crazy. You got to think about the character, what he's
Yeah,
about. You know what I'm saying? He's a little dark himself, mysterious, death touch, church, cleric, war priest, Kalambor. You know what I'm saying? You gotta feel it.
Yo,
So like,
fucking Coliseum. Like watch Coliseum. Yeah,
that's
Day
good.
one.
All
Baywatch
right.
art. I like that.
I just want
Day
to get my.
one
I
is
want to get
good.
my stuff, bro. I want to get a new,
Okay.
full
The
fledged,
day,
updated
the
character
Daywatch
sheet,
fits.
nice armor. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So the recap what happened. It, the day went by. I mean, you guys rested. Next day came. You got the message from Dex. Found his home. Invited you over to dinner at his home, which is lives in Midnight's Muddle in a row house filled in a in a section of the neighborhood where the owners of the apartments or the homes there are pretty affluent because he is married to one of the he's married into a I mean he's an established wizard as it is. And but on top of that, he did marry into a Waterdeep noble family, the Wands family, who uh was also a family of nobles that are known for I mean, they're known for their other business ventures, but they're mainly known for magic. So, um,
surprise.
right, the last name fits. And
The
but she
wands, and then know for cooking.
yeah, he's married to Kyrie Swans. Um, so he's got pretty much the hookup with that family, so it makes his wizard life a little easier there. Uh, but they're both there. You know, um he was there to like let your characters in, and your characters were treated to a pretty very well, uh, a rather extravagant dinner, the kind that nobles would eat instead of the instead of eating at eating rations or tavern food, which is what the characters usually tend to end
Man,
up. Yeah. Not all taverns have bad food. You know, some of them
we've
got
been
some
poor
pretty
for
good
so
shit.
long,
But
bro. I've been eating rations, bro. Just
he's like, I've
rations.
been eating rations. Um,
Okay,
he was served a
MREs,
pretty
bro.
extravagant meal, um, and so he
Give me the
listened to
chili one.
the whole dinner, went a few hours went by as you guys were just relating to him all your stories, and he would ask questions, and you would fill him in, and he would offer his own insights, and a lot of long long conversation between everybody there. Um, and then he ended up telling you everything that he had learned from the stuff that he's researched and from the items and from the journals and from the notes and everything that your characters have collected and that Delphin organized. And then after Delphin had organized it, had prepared it for you guys to bring over to Daxum to look over. And he gave you this, he clarified some stuff that your characters had already known. He gave more details on stuff that your characters had an idea about. And what it ended up solidifying was that you guys weren't just chasing madmen. You are chasing madmen who very well, um, who very well are bringing about something that can actually happen. Um, their plans being to, uh, acquire Eus, a demigod who's been sealed away, long to have thought have been dead, but really wasn't. But to release Eus in order to bring about this Age of Worms. Although there's two sides to this. One being the Ebon Triad, which the characters are fully aware that they don't plan to release Q's to bring about the Age of Worms. They want to release Q's to take his divine essence and use that as a catalyst for fusing the dark trio of gods, Bane, Baal, and Merkel, into one super god, an over god,
Oh, yeah.
and have that over god take over Ao and pretty much reinvent the entire cosmos of Toril to the will of this new overgod. The cult of Kiyuth just wants their deity back. The characters haven't exactly dealt with any members of the cult, but you know there's going to be a point where you're going to end up dealing with them. What their relationship is with the Ebon Triad, you're not entirely sure yet, but the Ebon Triad may have fooled them into working together, most likely. So during the conversation, the Apostolic Scrolls came up, and Daxam was intrigued. And he told your characters that there's not a whole lot of information on these scrolls other than they are sacred, the cult of Pius. They contain his teachings, religious rituals and rites, and instructions to magic and to necromancy
Mm.
that should be forbidden. One one major thing being that it is said that the Apostolic Scrolls capable of allowing the user to know all the details on how to create a foul undead creature known as an Ogre Stasta. And the Ogre Stasta,
So we got the information from in the chat.
Adler was able to
Gotcha.
relay the information that he's learned about Ogre Stastas in his studies of Kius. Um, yeah, pretty much the stuff that was in the chat. And then came the topic of Perengast. Perengast? Per, is it Perengast? Prender. Okay, Prendergast.
Again.
Prendergast's Broken Gull, a noble of House Broken Gull, who had recently married but had recently married another noble, but of House Phylund. But Prendergast himself, not only is he a member of House Broken Gull, but he's also a highly experienced and accomplished gladiator. And in fact, he's in charge and he manages the Field of Triumph, which is the Coliseum of in Waterdeep, where they hold all different sorts of events throughout the years. And the one that's coming up in particular is an event known as the Champions Games. House Broken Gulf is the nobles of House Broken Gulf are known for sponsoring and partaking in exploration and guiding, as well as making a fortune hunting and procuring the exotic beasts that they find in their travels.
Oh,
And they
they,
they
So
make
they
money.
do what
They
they
make
they
did
money.
what
were,
what you call it Shadow Dusk, how Shadow Dusk used to do, because they did the same thing.
Shadow Dust. I read Shadow Dust. They the only thing I found on them was that they were into trading, but they didn't specify what they were trading. They
and he
just
was
They the entry that I read on they did a lot of exploring and adventuring, and then what ended up happening was they went into Undermountain, and that's when they started doing the same thing but with aberrations, and
I
they
gotta
got
look.
corrupted
I
from
gotta
doing
try. Yeah, I gotta see 'em. I mean, because I just read it earlier
it.
today. I read it earlier today, and I didn't see anything about. They didn't hunt and deal in aberrations. They they accessed and tapped into the far realm, and they were using the stuff that they learned from and about the far realm to try and get an edge on other noble houses. But doing that obviously drove them mad, and they were just doing weird shit, and it got so weird and crazy that the lords of the lords of Waterdeep had to step in, and they ended up sending or they ended up raiding the house
Hmm.
and just and torching the place and pretty much banishing the house. The house no longer exists as a noble, as an as, you know, an officially sanctioned nobility in Waterdeep anymore.
Yeah, you
Um,
gotta read the rest. They retreated into Undermountain,
no, I read the rest. Yeah, they retreated into Undermountain
and Alistair Blackcloak
was yeah,
started
he kept an eye on them, and
mhm,
he let them chill there because he I think he's trying to slowly corrupt them to be like his servants, and then he was going to use
yeah,
them as a front to like try and take over. What? Yeah, no, I read it all.
yeah,
But yeah, no,
okay.
the noble family. I mean, before they got taken down, the only thing I found out what they dealt in was trading. So I assume they were probably just an influential merchant family, probably
Mhm.
that bought their way into nobility.
Well, I forgot the lady who was leading the house at the time, but it was an
Oh,
actual
we got a
lady. She was an
raid
adventurer, and she was
from Live and
actually
Let's
leading the
Die. Thank
house.
you for the raid.
what up, live and let's die. What up? What up?
Oh, we got to follow. Oh, it's Eidolon. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Um, we are doing some
Pendergast
expedition.
Broken Gulf. Pendergast Broken Gulf was dealing with the mind flayer.
He was, yeah, he was dealing with the mind flayer, uh, Zersog. He had paid Zersog. Your characters found out that it was him that bought the Apostolic Scrolls off of Zersog, but he had also
Yeah.
paid Zersog to put a hit on you. And then Zersog secretly had a group of, doppelgangers working for him. These doppelgangers, led by a greater doppelganger, uh, Talakin, which your characters had killed. Um,
Yeah,
he
yeah, he had to go.
he
Yeah, he
he
had to
was
go.
he was wait,
Yeah, the-
Talakin
yeah.
was already they were already a member of the unseen. So layer upon
Hmm.
layer upon layer of intrigue
Yeah.
going on. Um, and you come to find out
Johnson, you
that
got an echo.
you come to
Huh?
find out that
I think you got an echo.
what's up?
You know, I know what it is. It's Twitch. Yeah, that shit open.
Um, So yeah, it was. Then you come to find out that the leader of the unseen, which I don't think your characters know who it is, but the leader or leaders, you're not sure, but were aware of Pelakin's betrayal to and so they were in on it as well, trying to find out like what Talakin was up to and who he was serving. Found out he was serving a Lithid, and the unseen are pretty much like, no, we're done with the Lithid. That's not happening again. Um, but yeah, you went through the layers of intrigue and came to the top, which was Prendergast. And why Prendergast want your characters dead only me, and the fact that he bought the apostolic scrolls obviously leads to one conclusion, that he's a member of the Emperor Triad secretly, and is acquiring the scrolls to to use the magic within and to use the knowledge within, probably to help to help initiate the Age of Worms faster. Um, when Dagsum was after you had this conversation, and Dagsum, was shocked to learn that Prendergast was involved in something like that. He warned your character, saying how he's a long established, his family's a long established noble house, and then Prendergast himself has enough connections to bail him out of trouble. Um, you would need some pretty damning evidence. Um, he can easily pretty much gaslight the whole, oh, but you bought this from so and so. Oh, well, how do you know it's not a forgery? He can easily gaslight his way out of the fucking situation, is what it is. You need damning evidence. You need evidence that cannot be denied. Um, and as your characters were mulling over, well, how do you do that? What's the best way to go about it? He tells you, well, he's in charge of the Field of Triumph. He manages it, and one of the things he manages is he's not only managing the Champions Games coming up. He has to manage the monsters that his family captures, and make sure that they are well secured and tended to. Um, and Daxam smirked, and he's like, he probably you guys have probably pissed them off even further. When you killed that Chimera in the trades ward that got loose during the parade. That was
Mm.
that was owned by his family. That was
Did
supposed
we
that
actually
was
kill it? I thought we knocked it unconscious.
Oh
no,
no.
I thought Lucian shot the hell out of it, didn't
I
he?
shot the hell out of it. I shot that shit out the sky, bro. I hit that shit with like a 20 between the eyes.
I don't know if it was dying and someone
So
stabilized it, or it was
No.
dying and nobody bothered to heal it. I don't know.
yo,
I
Matt, just
think it would
one.
make sense if Luna stabilized it.
I think that Luna might have done that because we didn't want to like damage government property. We want under the impression that belonged to like the government, that creature for the games. So we were not trying to.
Man, you were right. Your character found out you were right. Yeah. Daxum yeah, I told you, yeah, that Chimera was supposed to go to the games. Um, but he's like, most likely they have a replacement creature. Um, and then that was when it got brought up that there's one way to get close to him without what did he say? There was one way to get close to him and to investigate what's going on without your characters having to really worry about like another hit being made on them, or so without him risking more going after you, and risking publicly what he's doing. And Jackson was like, I don't know. He's like, he had told you characters. I don't know if you thought about it, but you could always join the games as contestants, and you'll have access to be able to investigate a lot easier. The games go over a period of 5 days, and of course your group lit up because you already had talk and plans of registering. So it appears fate indeed has called upon the Night Watch to join uh, amongst the dozens of other groups that will be at the Champions Games to prove their might and win the prize and win the belt. Last year's champion was a man named Auric, which Lucian had met. He had met him at the
Yeah,
tavern over in
at the tavern with the belt.
and I think Auric
Shot.
had mentioned that he was going to be in the next games, and
Yeah,
I think he tried to convince Lucian to join up. I can't remember, but
he said if I was in town to look him up,
yeah, that's what it was.
some shit like that. So I will be looking for him.
But so Dagsum ended up saying, in order to get in though, you needed a sponsor. And he says he knows just the right person. He's got a friend that is looking to sponsor a group of champions to join the games, and that if you're interested in that idea and going along with that, he can contact them and he'll let you know when they come by so that you can meet with them in person. And then I think that was pretty much where we left off. I think he told you the games they had gotten postponed a bit. He tells you I think that it was supposed to start like tomorrow, but they got pushed back 7 days. So you guys got 7 days to prepare, do what you want in the city, um, before they start. And that was the last where we left off. And it was that evening, so I think your character's rested. And we go on to the next set of dates that are going up. I think it's Marpanoff, the 29th of Marpanoff, 10th month, October. Still the autumn season, so they definitely want to get these games going before winter sets in.
Make it a challenge. How the games in the winter and shit.
The winter games.
Fight snow beasts.
But see, and I have this list of things that everybody was trying to get done. Now, I also have some interesting events to do. I guess the other question is is the buddy system in effect?
Yes,
So we got
we've already discussed
Lucian
that.
Lucian's with
Like,
Cassidy throughout the city.
right.
Luna's with uh Sophelia, and Xander's with Adler.
I did not put Lucian and Cassidy together. I guess it makes sense.
I mean,
That makes sense.
I've been rolling. Give us, they make it too crazy. If they put us with Adelar, there's a problem happening.
What would listen, what would make sense? It would be Lucian and Adler. It would be
Nah, I'm with Cassidy. Definitely with
Cassidy.
Cassidy.
It would be Cassidy and Xander. Cassidy and Xander have been together before. They have hidden history, so it makes
Sure.
sense. And Xander really doesn't know Adler.
Lucian and Adler will cause will burn the city down or some shit, man.
Just makes sense. I mean, whatever. Whatever.
They're trying to warn you.
Let's put it this way: either someone has to babysit Adler, and you know, so
Well, so why would
100%.
it be the new, why is it the new guy? Is what I want to know.
Oh,
I
because you
mean,
got to
I
get your
think
feet wet.
Adler will probably give you a hard time.
You got to
Oh.
get your feet wet, boy.
So
Get in
everybody,
there.
Give you a
so
hard
everybody
time,
knows.
but
So everybody knows it's a problem.
Adler and Lucian together, you're not gonna have a city left. If you
Yeah.
put Adler and Cassie together, you're not gonna have a city left.
Yeah.
Those are two people you can't put him with. Everyone else you can put him with, and he'll be fine.
And you're not gonna have a city. Shit.
But you can't put the two chaotic people
It's
together.
gonna get awkward really fast.
Yeah, a very bad idea. They both got chaotic in their alignment, so you putting them together is just not good.
Like a hungry Luffy just running around the city.
Yeah,
It's a bad
like
situation.
Lucian and
Situation.
Adler is like Zoro and Luffy straight up.
Something's gonna happen.
Cassidy and
Cassidy is a little bit more reserved. He's not prone to violence. Like he'll try to hey, you know, maybe we should get the rest of the group.
Because the fight is fucking Zoro was down.
But no, he is actually right. Okay, we're actually.
Nah, Lucian is like Zoro. He'll like start fight with anybody, man.
Right. And
you look at him the wrong way, and before you know, you got a bullet between your skull.
Right. At least with Luna, as long as Addie's with Luna, if they were doing something like scholarly, that'll keep them busy.
If it's two, that's the pair. But if it's like sets of three, it will be usually Adler, Sophia, and Luna. Then, for the most part, and then the other three. But if we're splitting up by two, then
the most quiet Addie would be is probably with Sophia. That's the most tame he'll be.
Why the hell is he with me? Why we parallel?
Oh, you?
I mean,
Yeah,
he'll give you a hard time.
You gotta get your feet wet.
I don't get that. Like, what does that even mean? I gotta get my feet wet, bro. I know we're doing this.
It means if you can handle being with Adler, you pass.
What?
It's an initiation, right?
During that entire quest we were just on, wasn't that enough being teleported into an area it wasn't even supposed to be?
Nah, that was combat. That wasn't actually dealing with him for real.
That was easier to deal with in combat than he is in public.
Right. Oh, great. Can we roleplay that, please?
when we were fighting that chimera, Adler's magic almost like KO like 3 innocent kids and shit. Like, we're like, hold on a second. I mean, the kids were safe and sound, but he threw invisible pits, man, and these kids were walking right into it, man. Almost got killed.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like I had to have my character like run in there, like no. I mean, and it's not intentional. It's not like he did it with malice.
He's like jump tackling him over the nets. Something like that. Grabbing him up.
So speaking of Xander and Adler, that's a good start with them. As your characters are ready to go out and get things done.
Okay then.
Xander, needs to make a stop at Death Watch Chapel. That is the location of where he had received his training. Also where he character lived. In fact, right here on the map, that orange circle is where the chapel's located. And it's in that neighborhood. There's a little neighborhood around there. And it's just down the street from the City of the Dead. Which is exactly
all I know is when I walk into that chapel, Lewis, I'm gonna be standing out because I'm the only one in there wearing white. So like when I walk through the chapel, everybody's like kind of talking, like to themselves or like muttering into the corners, like whispering and shit, and I'm like walking through. Everybody else is wearing black.
Well, it's with Kalembor being a recent church, because it's the year 1374. But Kalembor, I don't think he became the god of the dead until 1367 or 1369. So his religion is young, and yeah, he's taking over the duties of being god of the dead from Merkel, from Merkel. So, and I'd say about half the people that worship Merkel did switch over to Kalembor. Um, but he doesn't do things like Merkel did. Or Cyric. Cyric was god of the dead for about 10 years before he lost it. Because Cyric became god of the dead for when Merkel was killed. But then Cyric lost it to Kalembor. So a lot of upheaval when it comes to the god of the dead, but things have been very stable and very well organized because that's exactly how Kalembor wants to make sure it is. And he's proving within just these past 5 years, he's proving to be extremely different than the way Merkel has handled or done anything. And in particular, where Merkel had no issue with raising the undead and using them how they pleased, Kalembor has been the opposite. He is all about the cycle of life and death. For after life, you must venture into death, and undeath disrupts that natural cycle. It's an affront the way things should be. And so this church has been putting themselves out there as the ones to deal with any and all undead threat. Who's bouncing in and out? Is that Johnson?
It's Johnson. He's trying to fix his mic.
Oh,
He's echoing the whole time, but now he can't even hear us, so he's trying to fix it.
all right. So they've established a chapel, and they're on their way to further establish themselves more and more. And the the Kalemborites that are situated in Waterdeep are hoping to get a temple built. Um, so basically, to upgrade from a chapel into a bigger, bigger building with more resources and more attendance. Um,
I can't hear nobody.
who can't hear?
Lieutenant Johnson said that.
Oh,
He should try to do a hard restart with his computer.
now Death Watch Chapel is located between the street, the street of Coffin March, and Spindle Street. It's within a small neighborhood. Nearby the chapel is Mermith Splendin's residence, and Mermith Splendin is known to tutor those in martial combat. He's um he's a highly experienced fighter, and he's made an arrangement with your chapel to train the paladins and the war priests of the church. And he doesn't always take money for the services. In fact, he he appreciates when the Kalemborite help recover fallen warriors or offer free healing to those um during his tougher training regimens. So he'll usually either get money or services from the church for him training. And in fact, he was he was also Xander's trainer when it came to combat. The chapel is
Xander's from here.
also
That's why Xander's from here.
the chapel is also near the Riven Shield Shop, and that's a shop that specializes in armor and shields. And like, you can even find magical armor and shields there on occasion as well. So it's good that it's nearby there because they can help outfit, any traveling clerics or paladins or war priests of the church. Also nearby nearby the chapel is the Dripping Dagger Inn for those who are staying temporarily or if more permanent, renting the rooms, or if for those that are staying temporarily, traveling Columbarites or whatever, they usually get a room at the Dripping Dagger Inn. But if they're looking for something more permanent, such as with Xander, in Xander's case, they in that neighborhood, the church has rented rooms, um, that they've acquired for their faithful. So, Xander does have an apartment there in that neighborhood. For any church guardians, however, like if there's any members that are just there to like be, pretty much security for the chapel, whatever, they get to actually stay in the chapel itself. It has a small barracks there for that.
Okay.
Um, the main duties of the chapel, which had once belonged to Merkel and has been since refurbished, they are to maintain order within the city of the dead, which is just down the street. They are to assist traveling Columbarites. They are to assist in tending to burial rite to those in mourning, and then to take quests involving the restless dead. The chapel has been promoting donations and partaking in quests to build their finances so that they can construct a temple within the city. They are also usually visited upon by members of the Knights of the Eternal Order. The Knights of the Eternal Order is an order of paladins of Kalimdor, a recent order that has formed, and yeah, they are made up of paladins. Um, Occasionally, they come through, should they have business in Waterdeep or need a place to stay, or if they need resources. And the chapel resources, they involve they involve clerical gear, potions, holy water, alchemical equipment that helps tend to disease, to wounds, to poison, and to dealing with the undead. And thanks to the nearby shops, there are commissions for enchanting weaponry and armor are available for those that are within the faith, or for those that are assisting in a great task for Kalimdor. So it's a good. So with your experience, um, and your reputation, you definitely can rely on the church's resources to maybe get weapons and armor enchanted.
You already
Um,
know I'm about to use that plug.
the the chapel is known for its night guardians. For they are ones who would ward off would-be thieves or any enemies of the faith. There are 3 watch ghosts that guard the premises at night, and they pretty much attack anyone that they don't recall that's allowed to even be on the property. Um, Vander has seen them, occasionally at times when he's around that night, and they silently, they don't like ignore him, but they don't really, they know he's a member of the faith, so they don't they just go about their ghostly duties throughout the chapel, making sure that no enemies are about. The chapel also has a magical hollow effect, and anybody that's trying to use invisibility, it's automatically dispelled. So they enchanted the chapel there to make sure nobody invisible is trying to run around there. In addition, the faithful within the chapel, you're able to anyone faithful to Kalimbo that's within the church premises, has a death watch effect. You're able to see the condition of somebody, whether they're healthy, wounded, near death, dying, or undead. Um, the head cleric of your chapel has the title of Soul Watcher, and clerics of lower status they're known as Death Watchers, where the initiates, the brand new initiates that have just entered the faith, they are known as Life Watchers. And currently, the chapel is managed by Soul Watcher Raymorn Durenbold, and she's married to the late Lairdon Durenbold, who is a member of House Durenbold, a prominent Waterdeep noble house in the city. Lairdon is the second son of Buldos Durenbold of House Durenbold, and but Buldos had perished. No, I'm sorry, Lairdon had perished during the time of troubles. Um, there are other members here. There's Death Watcher Almith, who was a former Mercolite, and he's in charge of crafting alchemical items, holy water, potions, and scribing scrolls. And there's also Death Watcher Card the Tomb Guard. He's an Earth Genocide, and he's not exactly a cleric. Not
Card
exactly a
to
not exactly a
crazy ass
cleric.
name.
What's his name?
um,
Card
Card
to
the
two.
Card the Tomb Guard.
Oh shit!
Mm, right?
He's an Earth
I was gonna
Genocide.
say it was with a K. There's no way.
Yeah, he's an Earth Genocide. So he's a human with plain touch. He's got the blood of the earth elemental within him. And in fact his the way his skin looked, it looked the color and the texture of like a tombstone.
Mm.
No, although what's interesting about him is that he's not cleric. He's actually an oracle. And he seems to have been chosen to represent all the death gods.
Mm,
But he's chosen to stay here at the chapel to help out. He
kind of a big deal.
he's primarily a stonemason and a sculptor, and he tends to clerical duties when he's needed, but he's been having these visions of these beings that have come to serve Kalembor, and you know he he's pretty much he's a special priest of the faith here in the chapel. Um, but the visions that he has of these beings that he says are called psychopomps. He's been sculpting statues of them the way they look in his vision. But there's
Killed?
also
Haven't we killed those before? We've killed those before,
No,
right? The
psychopomps?
psychopomp.
no,
No,
No, the
no.
oh no, I'm thinking of the wisp, the willow wisp. Sorry,
Yeah,
no, that's the psycho. There was a
those little puff clouds.
there was a psychopomps that Roth had been visited by. That was the last
Mm,
time that got brought up in this group, but that
that's what I'm thinking of.
that little subplot got back,
Yeah.
but if you're
Did
still using psychopomps for
Nah,
other
I think
shit,
I had it confused with that other shit. The
Wisp.
was it the I want to say the willow wisp. It
oh,
was
the
like
Will-O-Wisp.
the thing into the swamps and shit that was moving mad
Yeah,
fast
the
that
light,
nobody could hit.
the balls of the light that hit with
Yeah.
electricity, and yeah, that was a Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, there's a few other Doomblades such as yourself there. Um, and the Doomblades being a small sect of Kalimverites who are composed mainly of Inquisitors and War Priests. Um, there is Although I did not have a name for this character, but there is a Doomblade here who is a War Priest trainer, as well as he is one that is capable of blessing arms and armor with divine magic enhancements for the faithful. And he also teaches those the ritual of dread, a ritual that can allow you to create magical powers for an item that for yourself. Um, it's a ritual. You don't need an item creation fee. It's basically it's a bonding ritual. Um, if you perform the ritual and you have the offerings and the materials and the resources, you can perform the ritual, use the resources, and basically enchant your own item. And it only works for you. If anybody else was to, say you did it to a blade or you did it to an amulet or whatever, somebody else was to take the blade or to take the amulet, and it wouldn't work. There'd be no power in it for them. There's another Doomblade who's a recent member of the few war priests that Kalembor has. And she had joined to conquer her fears of the undead and cast them out however she can. And then, of course, there's Helnora, which everybody in this group knows, and so does Xander. I think he's actually been on a few quests with her. She is an Inquisitor, and she's the leader of the Inquisitors of the chapel. And she mainly goes out there and gathers information out in the field and deals with threats to the faith that are both within and externally. She also was the one that trained Raw. But that is pretty much a good chunk of info about your about the chapel that Xander is a part of. And you are free to stop there for whatever it is that your character needs. Um,
So, are we? Is Xander walking towards that chapel? Are we?
Yeah. I mean, that would be one of the places I'm gonna want to visit. I'm just gonna let Adler know now. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna try to be. What are your plans? What do you, Adler? What are your plans today?
for
So
the
you
rest of the
see,
week.
Well, yeah,
you
but
see
yeah, because like,
Adler.
we're gonna be hanging out, so I need to know. Like, he's trying to figure out what.
You see Adler. He's keeps scratching and scratching the sides of his arms, and every time he scratches and he shifts his arms like that, you could see flecks of like his his once like mahogany colored skin just falling down in like flakes out of his sleeves on the floor. And he says, it's just boredom has been tap, 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 tap dancing on my prefrontal cortex for so long. I can't quite decide. There's a whole piece of myself that I want to find, a half of me, my mom. Yes, it's not that I long for maternity. It's just I have questions. And great papa is dead. Probably would be rolling in his grave if I went to such lengths to find her, but still. How could the dead be so mad at me when my friend right beside me is besties with Kalemvor? Surely, if my father gets mad, you could always put in a good word for me. Won't you, Death Watcher?
Sure, I guess. You're pretty
Hmm.
strange, Addy. I must say. I never met anybody. I never met anybody of your. Uh, I don't even know how to say it. But if you don't mind me asking, no disrespect, what are you?
God damn.
Ah, um, what I am seems to make people uncomfortable, and people are usually uncomfortable when they're around things they don't want to know. So if I weigh these two things out, then what I am must be the truth. Yes, I am the truth.
I can sort of relate to you a little bit. I mean, look at me. I have the death running through my veins.
You
So I
do.
can relate to you. I can relate to your similarity. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Your skin,
I
it
mean,
looks
you
so
don't see
pale.
that I'm not. I don't look normal like everybody else does.
No, you don't. Your skin is pallid. Your pigment runs from you.
I'm surprised it didn't pique your curiosity sooner.
Well, I'm very used to such things. Look at Sophilia's eyes. They've changed from the last time when I first saw her. And Luna has a laugh that makes the air quake. And Lucian's eyes are
Oof.
golden, able to see, pierce all shadows, no matter how deep they are. And even Cassidy, brand new as he is, has sickly, greenish, ghoulish eyes. We all have a little something that makes us different here in Night Watch. A little something that makes us abnormal. So you fit right in. It's everyone else who doesn't, but that's just fine. Who cares about fitting in when we can make our own shapes?
Exactly. I'm not. I mean, fitting in is great and all, but that's not exactly why I'm with you guys. Is to fit in. There's a job at hand, and I'm focused on the mission I was given.
Ah, so you've accepted that this is your world too.
You see it. You see it every day. The dead that rots this world. Someone has to cleanse it, and it's gonna be me.
Hmm. I like that attitude. Taking charge, stepping up, stepping on things that don't belong. Let's erase it together. Everything that doesn't belong and make space for the things that we think does.
Hmm. Kind of like the way that sounds, Addy. Think we're gonna get along just fine. So
So
what's first? Where are we
uh
gonna? Cause I mean I want to stop at the church. So that's one of our stops.
hmm, I want to go below,
What is
deep
that?
below. Well, not so much the sewers, deeper than the sewers.
Uh, you kind of lost me.
That's fine. We could worry about being lost later. For now, let's go to the places we know we can find, like your church, your chapel. Let's meet the rest of your little friends. Let's hope they are as different as you. Then
Oh
after that,
yeah.
we can go below.
I think you're gonna find some interesting things there, Adler. If you haven't been before.
All right, then we got Luna. So Luna,
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I'm like,
I'm here.
oh.
I was like, the
did he?
anticipation is killing me.
I'm like, did he hear me? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. All right, Luna.
Yeah.
You recall. Well, not you recall. You've been making visits to House of the Moon. Pretty much acclimating yourself there and seeing to how the church composes itself and to its people, and you had met Baluna Moonstar, who is a member of a noble house. Characters meaning a lot of
Luna
nobility. Your characters
Moonstar.
meaning a lot of nobility, I've noticed. But um uh but yeah, she's a member of House Moonstar, who is they are a prominent house that's in control of two guilds actually. They run two guilds, and it's the guild of uh map makers and star chart and navigation, and they they're also highly regarded as being very faithful to the goddess Selune. So they have the churches they're backing as well. And Baluna was the werecat that he had met the first time there, and
Mm-hmm.
he, upon hearing Luna's what one could call a crisis of faith, um,
That's one way to put it.
You're right.
he
Kind of like that,
he
but not really.
encouraged Luna to continue coming to the temple, and he's been showing her around and answering her questions, and so you stop by there as you normally do, and you find Faluna, and she goes, "Oh, it's good to see you again, Luna. Come, join me for she goes, join me for some brunch. My treat."
Okay.
And so he's been whenever she is around at the temple, she's been hanging out with Luna and aiding her in understanding Selune and what she, what the people expect of her, as well as what Selune expects of her faithful. And Luna goes, as you guys find a place out in the street, find get some pretty much get some street food from a vendor, and you go to come back to the temple and you eat, um, hanging out, like, around the temple grounds, but away from anybody that's nearby. It's just the two of you. Plus you're in a spot where you don't have to worry about maybe somebody eavesdropping.
Mm-hmm.
So out in the open as well. And she she goes, "So how have things been going for you? You look as if I didn't know any better, you look, how should I say, as if you've been through an ordeal that was quite an experience."
Well, that's definitely putting it mildly, but one can say that. Uh, mm, my my magical prowess was definitely challenged. Um, and Onyx here, we put a lot of work in. We make a great team. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm even cut out for this type of stuff. I remember back when I would, I wake up and I go to the library and I spend most of my time reading and doing book bindings. And now here I am, contemplating my own faith and going on near-death experiences. Who would have thought that that's where I'd be now, right?
He goes, yeah. Reminds me of my own. It's a good thing the goddess had answered my prayers. And Luna recalls from a previous conversation that Faluna had confided in her. And Luna could tell that it wasn't an easy story to tell, but Faluna he was kidnapped and taken to the sewers in her past. Kidnapped obviously because of her relation to the Moonstars. And she didn't think she would make it out. And he had gotten right to one of the shafts, but she couldn't even climb up to get out, and she knew danger was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And she called out desperately, and Selune had answered, for there was shafts of moonlight coming through the sewer grate. And as she was basking in that pale moonlight, that was when she felt the transformation. Selune blessed her into what she had become afterwards, a werecat. And with that, she was able to escape. And so she turns to Luna, as Luna recalls, just as you finish recalling all that, she turns to Luna and she goes,
Yo, Matt, you gotta mute your mic.
Thank you. I thought I was going crazy. It sounds mad loud, right? I can't be the
Yeah,
only one.
it's Lucian's in row 20. I'm like muting everything. I'm like, where's this shit? Yeah, that shit is bumping, nigga.
I cannot hear anything Tony is saying. all I hear is people chewing food.
oh,
Yo,
okay.
that's where it was coming from. My bad, yo.
I thought it was Watson because I see him eating apples. I thought it was like
my
his
fault, yo.
activity.
I thought I had that shit muted.
Is that you?
I'm
I thought
killing
it
this
was.
popcorn.
I thought it was Watson because I see Watson like
No, you know what it is?
chewing, and then
Is he
I didn't
muted?
realize it was
Is
unmuted.
he muted on roll 20? That's what it was, probably.
I wasn't muted
No,
on roll
it's
20. It
the
was shit
row
was coming from
20.
it was coming from my laptop and shit.
That shit was bumping. Niggas like, is somebody washing pots and pans by the sink?
Yeah,
It's
bro.
dark now.
you're
I was like doing dishes and shit. I was
you're
walking
not
all
gonna
around the
hear it.
crib, bro.
You're not gonna
I
hear
was,
it.
I was
It's
having a good old
mashing,
time,
my
bro.
guy.
I was having a good old time, bro. I was all in the kitchen
Yeah,
and
bro.
shit.
I was
I was making popcorn.
I know.
making popcorn. I made a drink and shit. I was having a
I
good
couldn't
night,
even hear
bro.
Watson
My
before.
fault, bro.
This nigga
My
Watson was
fault,
role
bro.
playing Adler, nigga. I could
I
barely
thought I
hear him.
wasn't.
And I was like,
Yeah,
huh?
same here.
I
I
was
was like,
I legit thought I was. I thought I was
I
muted.
was like,
You
all right, yeah,
my
we gotta
bad, yo.
go.
I thought Watson casted
I
a
was
spell
like, I
because
can
I'm
barely
like,
hear this nigga.
how is he role
I
playing
thought I was
Adler?
muted.
How's he role
It's all
playing
good.
Adler and still eating?
That was my fault, yo.
No, you
Good
good, you
time.
good.
No, but you know
Why?
what's funny? That I thought of
I didn't know what they were talking about because I'm like, I don't hear
I thought of
shit.
each one of you, and I still heard it. So
I wasn't even nowhere near it either. I had that shit muted. It was all in the kitchen. That's a good ass mic, bro. Oh, nowhere near it.
very sensitive. Like,
I was just picking up the
Yeah, I
whole
couldn't
house.
hear shit.
I'm
That's why
bad.
if you go to
I know, man.
you go to the
I apologize.
you Yeah, because what I did was I went to
I couldn't tell where I couldn't tell where it was coming from. I muted everyone. And I still heard it.
Yeah, I was going
Mm.
crazy just now. I'm like, yo, what is that, bro? Once it
Thank
started
you,
chewing, I'm
Ricky.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't want to say
that'd be
I didn't
killing
want to
his
say
fucking
anything because
popcorn.
I'm like, man, I guess I must be the only one hearing this. Let me
Kill
just
yeah.
be quiet.
Everybody thought they was going crazy. My
Yeah.
bad, yo. My
Nobody else
bad.
was complaining. I'm like, damn, I guess it's just me because I'm
I
Oh,
like,
thought
I
it
had
was
the music.
Watson. I'm like,
I had the music on and everything, bro. I was having a good night.
I didn't hear
Oh man, that's
My
funny.
anything
I don't
fault.
because
know
I
how
go.
people thought it was me when I just got up to go get food. Like I just got up.
I,
Like
Right,
I
I
was
know
yo.
here the
I
whole
know.
time.
It was
No,
Yeah,
it
it's
was
like that
bro,
even when you were
I was having
even
I
when
was
you were
getting
handling it. It was like
I was
that
having
though.
a good time in the kitchen, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
it was
I
coming
was
through.
cooking. I
Yeah,
had
it
the
was coming. It
microwave
was yeah.
going.
It was definitely coming through
I
roll
made a
20
peanut butter and
because I
jelly
have it.
sandwich. It was a
I have it.
whole lot of shit happening in the kitchen.
I have it set on roll 20 to it shows video only. I turn
Yeah,
everybody's audio. Yeah, turn everybody's audio off.
I usually turn the sound off. The sound's never on, so I didn't even think about that. My fault, yo. Apologize.
You know,
it's bad
I'm
funny.
surprised I was not able to mute you though, because I always
Me
mute
too. I
everyone on roll
couldn't
20.
either.
Like I mute
It
everyone.
I'm
took like
But
let's
it's
do it.
but I still
oh,
heard the I
bro.
still heard the
I think I
background.
had Chinese food at some point. What? Hanging out, bro. This weed is good.
So I got my shit muted right now. I'm fucking smoking a bowl.
Yeah, me too. Yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I try not to do drugs on the stream.
I
Yeah,
just
I try not to either. You know?
I just caught
I
this.
got the pen for
I see
that.
people smoking
Yeah, I'm
weed
trying
all
to
the time on the
be an
stream.
I'm a pen
adult.
fiend.
Trying
I
to
had
be an
a
adult.
Caught
Dolsky.
this
I need
damn
that
cough
shit.
yesterday, so I'll be muting myself so I don't be coughing every minute.
Okay.
I was wondering why you acquired Patron.
Yeah, man, I got this freaking cough. I don't want to be coughing throughout the entire session unless I have to talk.
Man, I was killing that fucking popcorn. Breathing
You know
heavy and
you dead
everything.
ass was.
Yeah, I was killing it, bro. I had a whole handful and was just shoving it in my
Like
mouth, bro.
I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go to the church. Where we going first? I'm like, damn, what's going on?
all right.
There.
Good.
That's the settings.
I didn't even know you could do that. Thanks
Yeah,
for letting me know that.
that's all you got to do.
Oh really?
That way, I don't gotta keep clicking mute on anybody in here. It's just the only thing that shows is video. And then
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know why that actually started picking up from my laptop. I must have reset shit. What's happening when I reset my whole fucking shit, my
I can
settings
hear.
and shit.
You said put video, right?
yeah, just
I
click
can
video.
hear or see video.
It'll say both
This video,
voice and
perfect.
video. Just yeah, for both of them, video on both of them. Alva can
Oh, okay.
hear or see video, and I can
Bet,
see
bet, bet.
hear or see video, and that's it. Yep.
We're locked in, boy.
Man, you don't even need to mute yourselves on roll 20 because it's
Yeah,
already off. It's set to
I
off.
just did the same too.
But all right. So he
Shit's picking up.
she turns to Luna and she like reassures her and she's like those don't come very often. Those kinds of those kinds of miracles, but that doesn't mean she goes that doesn't mean the gods have abandoned you. The gods will always be interested in us. But for as for as great as Sune is, he's one thing to understand about this world is that with the gods of good that we have, they still need to deal with their enemy who are fighting back just as hard. he, she goes, and with Salune, Shar, Shar has been extremely vicious with her and her followers for millennia. And throughout history and time, Salune does wane and wax in her ability to fight off Shar, just like the moon wanes and waxes. But you see, the gods of good, they have to accept that there's an order and a balance to the world. But the gods of evil, they don't they don't care for such a thing. They are more likely to want to ruin that balance, to acquire the power they want in order to shape this universe the way they want. And Shar has always wanted to bask everything in utter darkness. Indeed, that was the
There
whole reason.
is a.
Oh, she go. Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
she
Go ahead.
finishes
Go ahead.
with she finishes with, and that was the reason for the time of troubles. So you see, the time of troubles involved gods abandoning their responsibilities to trying to acquire a greater power, and many have suffered because
There,
of it.
there's a brief flash of irritation on Luna's face, and she goes, "That's the thing. I have dealt with Shar and her haunting thoughts since I was God knows how long. I felt the voice and the pull. I've dived into the research of shadow magic. When I hear that, well, the gods have to help, you know, we have to find. At what point do the gods say, here's a lifeline? There could have been a point where I couldn't be here right now. I could have dived into everything Shar has wanted to give me, and because of my upbringing, and this is part of this is where it's supposed to be. I don't get it. Why are the gods so cryptic? I get the dreams, I hear the voices. Just tell me what am I supposed to do?
Hmm. All the gods aren't, they're not omniscient. Best they can do is guide with what they do know. Sometimes there are truths that they are not even maybe allowed to speak. But with Salune,
I wish that when I was a kid that all of this self-realization happened then, because then I wouldn't have felt as alone as I did. When the only person I believed that I had to look for and look up to was Ophelia. She was the only person that didn't look at me like I was some outsider just waiting to go back.
oh, you've come a long way, Luna. Look at where you're at now. Yeah, I understand. It's been a lot of suffering under the influence of Char. But that's because you resisted that embrace. And it turned out to be a good thing. Because after all, here you are. And you have great comrades with you. And also, who better to aid with the flock of Selune than one who knows and understands what Shar can do and what she's about. I have
There are
something.
days I am
Oh God.
afraid. There are days that I am afraid that Shar will be more, how do I say it, aggressive in her calls because the voices are still there and they still haunt me. It's as if I have to keep looking over my shoulder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is indeed the influence of Shar upon one that she has touched. But that grip can be loosened. That darkness can fade. You just need more light or moonlight. I have some good news for you, Luna. I feel like this is something you should know now that I feel like and I believe that you have earned my trust. I can tell, sense, and I have prayed even. There is someone you need to meet. You see, I'm sure you are aware that I'm sure that you are aware there are many witches in Faerun. But what I don't think you're aware of is there is to the north, outside of Waterdeep, a coven of witches devoted to Selune.
What?
They are led by Lunar Mistress Aldea. She is the
Can
one.
I roll a lore check for that? I have lore witches.
Yeah, you can roll.
I don't think I'm gonna pass. It's pretty.
So during Luna's studies of the witches of Faerun, he had come upon in her studies of witches of various patrons, and there are those who do have the moon patron,
Hmm.
and he is aware that just as there was a coven of those who worship Shar and chose the shadow as their patron, there are those who have had patrons of other types, and some have chosen to serve other deities, and
Mm-hmm.
he has for um for Lunar Mistress Aldea, she let's see, she did read some accounts about her, and but there wasn't a lot, but there was some accounts about her. Um, what Luna had no idea was that she was nearby, like she's just north of north of Waterdeep, according to Luna. But that she leads her coven, and they do what they can to serve the goddess Selune and to actually combat Charans. And she does recall in her own childhood the mention of Mistress Aldea, Luna Mistress Aldea. But when Luna tried to inquire more about it, she was brushed aside. She's like, "Oh, pretty much like none of your business. Don't worry about
Yeah, that tracks. That
that."
tracks.
What you do, what some story, a particular legend, myth, or not, a particular story that you have recalled about her is that he only meets with those during a waxing or a full moon. He is never seen when there is a new moon, or if the moon is
Mm.
waning, and if it's like a waning crescent or a new moon, she's never seen. So it lends the stories to that maybe she
What
phases
about
off
Crescent Moon?
crescent moon. There are
Don't even
stories.
start, yo.
There are stories where it's said that maybe she phases out of Faerun itself with, just as the moon phases in and out. I mean, it's just a story. You don't know how much, you don't know what it means. You don't know if she does that as a personal reason or if there's some sort of magic behind it. But that's the story about about her, and that she's only seen during the waxing and during the full moon. It being Markinoff 28th. See what the phase of the moon is. 28th. Review files. Um, where is it? Where is it? Oh, rounds. Calendar. Yeah.
All this talk about witches has that theme song from the show Charmed stuck in my head.
You know what's
Uh,
so crazy about that? I'm watching that at work now. That's so wild that you bring that up.
I am the sun, I am the air, I
That is
am
my
human
downtime
and I
break show
need
right
to
now.
be loved just like everybody
well,
else does.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Being Marpinoff the 28th, it is a waxing gibbous, and
Mm.
the 29th and 30th and the 1st of Oktar, actually, the next 3 days, they are full moon days.
Getting inspiration for Luna.
I know what I'm doing.
So yeah, so Faluna goes, and you're just in luck. The next few days is going to be a full moon, which is the best time to see her. They say, she's not
I have to
around
see her.
during the he's not around during the new moons or when it's waning.
I have to see her. I have to see her.
He goes, all right. She goes, um, we'll have to make some preparations. Come with me into the temple. And she goes into the temple. Her and Luna go into the temple, and then Luna stopped, and she's like, "Oh no, what's he doing here?" And down at the other end of the temple hall, um, you see a very, you see a man with dark hair and this like strong presence about him. And you notice that the other lay worshippers and a few other clerics, they all eye in his direction, but it looks like he's talking to another cleric and sounds like he's like berating them. And
Should we be worried?
It better not be the elf. Better, better
no,
not
he
be
was
that elf I'm thinking
no,
about.
it wasn't an elf. It was an Oshimor.
Oh, he was an Asimar. You're right. Asimar.
Yeah.
Oh, it better not be that Asimar. That
Oh
Paladin.
yeah.
That Paladin Saloon and Mistra. Heretic.
She
Heretic
goes,
Paladin.
that would almost kill me on spot.
He will try.
she goes, you don't want to talk with him. She goes, listen, are you, she goes, do you know who the Knights of the Blue Moon are?
Yes, I've been warned about them. Is that one of him?
She goes,
Leader.
interesting concept, right? You know, the worshippers of both Mistra and Selune. Shoot, that's like that would be like you and your sister combined even. But not,
Yeah.
and she points to the guy, the armored warrior that's berating a cleric angrily. Um, he goes, but that one, never liked that one. That's Zale of Starry Glen, the leader of the Knights of the Blue Moon.
Okay.
He's a he's a zealot.
Extra.
He doesn't him and his order. Wow, yeah, they do some good. And I'll say the rest of the members of the organization aren't like that one, but him, just stay out of his way. And so
You hear that, Onyx? Stay out of his way.
and so yeah, yeah, Luna doesn't. I don't think she knows about
Mm-mm.
that.
She only
Yeah,
knows about the order. She doesn't know about the people
about
specifically.
the situation. Yeah, that Sophia had to deal with.
Yeah, they had a confrontation. They almost like duked it out. Almost. Back at the Mystic Fire Knights headquarters back in Daggerford.
Luna goes, I'm going to assume that to go have a conversation with the individual.
Yeah, him and his knights. They come here regularly. Although it's been a while since I've last seen him. He goes, yeah, Zale, he's about 6 feet tall, jet black hair streaked with silver. He has piercing blue eyes, fair skin that gleams with a silvery radiance. And his attire favors a lot of deep blue, and he's wearing silken shirts, well-tailored breeches, and he uh he is in his gear as if having just arrived. A mithril chain shirt that he wears. A Bass's sword sheathed, um, wearing an amulet and a few rings. But you also had noticed there was a griffin flying over. I mean, your characters see griffins flying overhead now and then a lot in Waterdeep because that's the Sky Patrol pretty much with in Waterdeep. But so there was a
That's kind
there
of crazy. Sky Patrol Griffins is crazy.
there was a griffin that had flown over the House of the Moon before you and not flown. There was a griffin that was had like golden colored feathers. Well, not golden,
Damn.
silvery colored feathers. Like glistening against off the reflecting rays of the sun in the sky. Um, that was like chilling on top of one of the buildings of the House of the Moon. Looking down. Um, very pretty much stands out from pretty much every other griffin that your characters have seen. Um, he comes down and he well after he finishes with the cleric that he was talking to, he turns towards because where you two were coming in, he turns your way and it looks like he's starting to exit. And he walks, with like great purpose and grace as he's coming down. And Luna's like, don't pay him no mind. Keep walking. It's like, I hope he doesn't say anything to me. And as the two of you are walking,
I hope he doesn't say anything at all.
he he looks over as he passes by the two of you and takes a few steps, continues a few steps. You pass by each other and he continues, but then you hear his boots slow down and pace and then stop. He turns around. Baluna, greetings would have been proper, would it not? Luna turns around. She's like, "Oh, Vale. Hey, hi there. Didn't see you."
There's a whole ass shadow elemental right behind me.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, where is he gonna go?
Oh, underground. I don't know.
I didn't get a chance at this point in time. I didn't get a chance to tell him to go underground. During that
Okay.
conversation, she just realized that he was a problem,
All
so she
right.
didn't get a chance to say Onyx go underground.
So he doesn't walk past you. In fact, he stopped and he goes, "What is that ridiculous illusion that you have around you? That should not be in this temple, Miss. Who
Oh,
are you?
uh,
That is an
uh,
affront to
is,
the goddess. We should not
is he
have
talking? Is he
shadow-like
talking to me?
beings." Luna's like, "Oh, yeah, I should have told you to I should have told you to have Onyx hide. Sorry."
I guess we didn't expect him to be here.
He's like, don't worry, Zale. She'll put the illusion away, right, Luna? She was just showing me a spell that she had learned. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's a spell. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was showing her. A spell.
Well,
She,
dismiss it, please.
uh,
It's disgusting in this holy place. It reminds me too
hey,
much
you.
of the Lady of Loth. We do not need anything of her representation
You know
being
how
shown
anime
here.
You know how in anime there's like that pulsing thing that you see on their forehead? That's like
Yeah.
kind of what Luna has right now. She's like, and she wants to say something. She looks at her and right. Put him away. Bye bye, Onyx. You can go away for now. And she looks at Onyx and she kind of whispers, I'm sorry. And Onyx kind of like looks at Luna and he says, and oh shit, what was the language I told him? He says in undercom, I guess now we appeal to lesser beings that insult us. Fine. And he like seeps through the ground. And she goes, see? He's gone now. I'm sorry to insult the church.
What may be your name?
My name? Luna.
Oh, interesting. For that was the name of the avatar of the great shining moon lady above, when she had graced us with her presence here on Toro. His voice like softens when he speaks of her.
Absolutely. Graced us with her presence.
And it was foul Joran that tried to stop the British teeth. He tried to impersonate her, almost ruined this holy sanctimony of this place. If only I was around. Oh,
Without even thinking, Luna goes, and what would you do? What would you do if you were around?
he unsheathes his blade, and it like the edges, like you can hear how sharp the edges are as he pulls it out. There's this ringing that just echoes, and then it glistens with magic, and you can see him sheathing it in like this holy white light that looks like moonlight, but it's filled with holy power. And he's like, "It's might, of course. What else do you do? In fact, you're lucky I didn't smite that illusion, you called it."
You. It's a good thing you. Yeah. Yeah, that would have sucked. I put a lot of work. It takes a lot of magic. I am learning magic as I go along,
Hmm.
and it takes a lot out of me to
Well,
conjure something like that.
well, please be respectful and do not conjure it here again, Luna of where are you from?
Do I have to say, does it really matter? I'm never gonna see you again. Respectfully.
Oh, well, if you do plan on visiting the House of the Moon or even joining the church, as it seems maybe Luna might be trying, hopefully convincing you to do, it would be best for me to know exactly who you are.
She like quickly responds, I don't really feel like I'm being welcomed by your presence at this point in time because you're undercutting the magic that I've learned really hard to do. whether or not it insults the church, it is still magic, which is something that the gods still look favorably on.
Of course, you see, I understand that. For I am also blessed by the Lady of Mysteries. You are aware of us, the Knights of the Blue Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
To both Mithra and Selune, two great goddesses, and with two of them together, Shar will be annihilated once and for all, entirely, and that day will come soon.
She
So,
goes,
I implore you, please continue the visit. Eradicate all that darkness that may be in your heart.
I I intend to do as such. I do need lots of guidance.
Luna's like, Vale, don't you have bigger things to do? Don't you have Sharans and shadow creatures to go out and smite? Aren't you busy? Don't you have an order to run? And Vale's like, your insolence is obnoxious, Luna.
You
You're lucky the High Priestess likes you. You need better discipline. Why the Sharans get away with what they get away with?
to to disrespect someone in their own church of seems very unprofessional.
Well, then, Luna, of the
I don't claim
Mercury,
my hometown because it's dead. I recently resided here for a new beginning.
new beginning, you say? Interesting. Well, as I was to say, we have yet to realize some of the harsh realities of this world. Sometimes you gotta deal with things with tougher skin and a tougher blade. And he sheaves his sword back.
Tougher skin, tougher blade. Something that
In your
I'll
case,
have to
tougher
remember.
magic.
Right. Tougher magic.
I don't believe clearly obviously not a cleric. Maybe you should pay visits to the House of Wonder. And grace the Lady of Mysteries as well. I will be on my way there, in fact. So,
Well, you just
should
answered
you
my
have
next question.
I must speak with the priest of the House of Wonders as well. Well, farewell, Luna, and farewell, Luna.
It
And
was
like,
nice meeting you.
and he pauses as he takes one last look at Luna. And he walks off.
Luna has been gritting her teeth this entire time, and like her face is clearly a flushed of red of irritation. She goes, as he's gone, she goes, I hate him.
Luna turns to you and she goes, I do apologize. And yes, most people do. He's just, unfortunately, he does a lot of good, despite how much of a jerk he is on the outside. Luckily, there aren't too many of his type. There's one in every place you go to, right? And
I
you know,
guess so.
and Luna has a flashback of Raw.
She like eye rolls and she goes, "That's for sure." She
Um,
recalls Onyx back out.
so after that, we go to um, go to what did I go to? Oh yeah, now that I think about it, it was supposed to be. I forgot it was supposed to be Billy and Luna together. Huh? That's okay. Yeah, it's
We can
okay.
meet up after. It's no
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah. Just just for a little bit. Hmm. um,
That would have gone totally different if Sophia was there, because those
right,
Sailed and Sophia met
right.
before.
The whole
So
time I was
It's
sitting there like
it's a
Luna's
good
role
thing
playing
you
her
weren't
charisma.
there.
yeah,
Luna's
it,
definitely role playing her charisma, but
yeah.
if Addie was there, he would have not have backed down like that. Not at all. They would have been pop off immediately.
Same thing with Sophia. She would not have backed down either.
Um, Sophia, you at the House of Wonder paying your respect, and you know you see the great statue of Argarian there, and you see the hustle and bustle of the worshippers and the clerics and the travelers who everyone here you can I mean you feel the radiation of magic all around. So feels a fun and humbling experience with Ophelia. And we want this. She hears two familiar voices. Well, not two, one. She hears one familiar voice that greets her from nearby. Um, where is it? Okay, there it is. Organizations. All right. That the only two? Yeah, get them. Okay. You hear the voice of another member of the Knights of Mystic Fire that you haven't seen in quite a while because they've been busy out doing missions. Um, but they are members of the order that's based in Daggerford. It's you turn around, you see both of them. You see Ulden Crench and Jasmal Yi Manchaka. Let me put their names.
Are they both male?
Jasmal is female, and Uh, Ulden is male. Ulden French. Gosmel, you are aware, is you know to be both a paladin and a cleric of Mithra. She's a Kalashite in heritage, and Ulden's a certainly a surprisingly quiet one, and he is a paladin. In fact, he is a temple champion of Mithra.
Oh,
Uh,
I'm gonna be fighting mad champions.
uh, but he is a paladin of Mithra, but he's trained as a temple champion. Um, but Jasmine comes forward to Sophia and she's like, Sophia, so Sophia, wow, didn't think I'd see you here. I thought you would still be in Daggerford. We're actually on our way over there.
Wow, it's been quite some time. Ah, may the weave guide your path on your way down there, my fellow servants of Mistra. It is such a joy to see you both. How have you been?
Quite busy. Oh, well, when we have time to meet up, we'll tell you all about it. Or you'll probably, if you go back to Daggerford soon, you'll probably can see it in the report. But and she turns to Ulden. Ulden's like, he nods. And he's like, yeah, we have come here to pay our respects before we head off back to Daggerford. And it's a pleasure seeing you. And we have heard much about what you have been up to.
Yeah, I'm quite in the middle of a mission here with my companions. Which I was kind of hoping it would be wrapped up by now, but that's not the case. If anything, it's just beginning. We might be here for a week or more. So what takes
Ah,
you down to What takes you down to Daggerford?
well, we're told we have a mission. It's going to involve going into the Lizard Marshes, we heard. Something about a strange phenomenon over there that we need to look into more. But we're told we're going to learn more about it when we speak with Algida.
Oh, I see. Um, we were there not that long ago. I could divulge to you what I know from personal experience, and hopefully that would help prepare help prepare you for your travels there. It's gonna be quite an experience to say the least.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
place it's a place outside of this world, very dangerous.
Hmm. Wait a second. And Ulden goes, hmm. Oh, then it must have been you that brought the report. Yeah,
That
well, it looks like it looks like we'll be further investigating uh what you have reported back to Elgita from when you were there.
she Sophia, she like you know she beams like a smile. Oh, good. I'm glad the order is taking this seriously. And who better than you two to get to the bottom of this? I feel relief now. I don't even have to worry about it.
And as you're speaking, you see two um as you're speaking, your group is interrupted, and rather rudely, in fact, because you hear a voice, step aside for the ambassador. He's come to pay his respects, goddess of magic. And then you can hear another voice, and the accent comes from like the eastern part of Faerun, it seems. Well, it was Sophia with her linguistics. She's able to note that the accents come sound Mohorandi,
Okay. She knows the language. Yeah.
and when she turns, um,
Mm. The Thayans.
she sees uh, she sees what appears to be Mulan humans with Rashemi warriors, and there's several of them who seem to be escorting one, uh, clearly a red wizard, bald
Of
head and the
course.
magical tattoos and the red robes. And they're like, make way, do not come near the ambassador. And then like, and next to him you can see like this big Rashemi warrior armored, clearly the bodyguard of uh of this of this ambassador. So for what Syphilia is aware of, the Red Wizards do have an enclave here. They have an embassy, and this must be the guy.
Yeah, Cassidy told us that. Yeah.
Um, ah, yeah, that's right, he did. So
Uh
yeah,
huh.
so
Ophelia knows.
Sophia is seeing Cassidy's father.
Just out of curiosity, because Ophelia has heard so much about the reputation of the Red Wizard of Thay. I mean, it's not gonna come to no surprise, but she does detect evil. Since it's very subtle, it's not like they could tell that she's doing it
Right.
on all of them.
Um, so a few of them do have an evil aura about them. As for
Cassidy's father, what about him?
Cassidy's father, she doesn't read any evil aura on him, although clearly
He's a
he
magic
knows. Yeah,
user. He's a
clearly
magic user. He could hide it.
he knows he's just hiding it.
Non-detection spell. Yep.
Um, the bodyguard has an evil aura, but not all of them do. But definitely half of them there do. And unfortunately, yeah, Mithra is a goddess of
Right.
magic first and foremost, and even
Right.
evil magic users. Um,
Gotta tolerate them until they fuck up.
right.
Then, when it's time to whip that ass.
So they uh they just like kind of like go in the middle of of the three of you as if you were just be pushed aside, like get away, and they go forward, and um as they pass by, um the other two come back. They come back towards you, and they shake their heads, like, it's grating that we have to tolerate that. What's the ambassador here just to pay his respects, or and then Ulden uh Ulden speaks right after Chessmail does, and he goes, well, uh, the Red Wizards are in talks with the what's the name of the priest? The high priest of this. Oops. No. Oh, House of Wonder. The what page? Trying to look for the name of the high priest here. Melagos Starseer. Okay. There he goes. The Magister of Mystra Melaghost is has been in talks with the Red Wizards. We've been reaching out to the Enclave, despite the fact that There is opposition from the watchful order. The Magister says that he is simply observing his vow to the Lady of Mysteries and ministering to all the faithful. But I fear it is much more going on.
To our disdain.
And he goes, I'm not even. uh, and then uh, Ulden, he leans in a bit and he kind of whispers, he's like, and if you want my opinion, I don't have much liking of the Magister myself. I have bad, gives those very bad vibes, but uh, not doing anything illegal. And they are serving the goddess wherever they
Is
can. So,
is the Magister the highest priest in this temple?
yes, you may have seen him. It's an older human man of Pandafan descent. Long, slender fingers, surprisingly a shaven head, almost as if, almost as if, might be Thayan.
Hmm.
Neatly trimmed goatee. I don't know if you've seen him upon your visits here, but
I've seen him, but I have
hard to
never spoken to him.
miss. Wears very long flowing robes that are adorned with mystical runes. But he is fiercely devoted to the Lady Mysteries, and he he the patronage to all avenues of arcane investigations, including necromancy. But
Yeah,
then
he appears to be very busy. Haven't had the pleasure to speak with him though.
well, be prepared for a rather interesting conversation should you do. I haven't spoken with him myself either, but Melagos is not what we're here for.
That's right. We have our own duties and missions. But nonetheless, we must pay our respect to the Lady of Mystery when the time is opportune, which is not always the case in our line of work.
And then Jasmine, she looks around and she's like, "Oh wow, there's another big familiar face here, huh? We're seeing." And you look, she points, she nods over to like the entrance of the House of Wonders, and you can see, unfortunately for Cecilia, walking through Vale of the Starry Glen.
Bastian, say it. She it's a feeling when she sees him like walk in. Her jovial, like cheery face turns like into like a stern look, serious. Oh, I thought his, I thought his, head, I thought his headquarters was outside of the city limits to the northwest. What is
It
he doing
is,
here?
but he, being a Knight of the Blue Moon, he does come to both the House of Wonder and the House of the Moon.
Isn't that sort of heretical? Worshipping two deities? You're supposed to pledge your allegiance to one deity. I mean,
It is, but it's merely taboo. There's no law against it.
well, he made an unwanted remark against my sister.
and he
Oh,
better watch
little
what he
Luna?
says.
Ugh.
Yes,
How's she been?
she's doing great. She's fine. She's at the Salune temple at the moment as we speak. And you see, like, Sophia was like serious and kind of angry a little bit, but then like that just like vanished right away. That she wears her emotion in her sleeves. She like again beams like almost like a proud older sister. She's like, oh, she's doing so great. You know, her abilities, um, her studies, her magic is progressing at such an accelerated rate. I'm so proud of her. She- She's going to be one of if she keeps going the way she's going, she's going to be one of the greatest spellcaster that's ever lived in this world. I'm sure of it, and I'll be there to witness it. God is
Uh,
willing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's actually very great. And that would please Mistra as well, so she can her unique magic is indeed.
It's a great boon to our religion, to our faith. Even if she chooses another deity as her patron, but magic comes from the Lady of Mystery. Anyone that uses arcane in a way is like devotion to our lady.
Mm. So he
Unless Cell like goes towards her, like Sophia's gonna ignore him. She doesn't take no initiative to even engage or talk with him. She continues talking to her two fellow knights.
um but yeah, Zale he walks by and he walks by your group and doesn't seem to pay much mind as he advances forward and looks like looks like he's heading up towards like the inner sanctums where obviously he has, you know, the authority to do so. But yeah, yeah, characters I mean you she you know she catches up with them and what's been going on and you know they give us some information that's good for her to know such as
What
you
information,
know like
Alfie?
such as the best places to like acquire magic items or to sell off some of the magic gear that she's acquired um and even you know who to talk to like have her that's you know commission for like you know any enchantment she needs to make on her gear. But but yeah, let's move over to Lucian. Lucian and Cassidy, I should
Yep.
say, but man, I'm surprised Dave's
Yeah,
not
where's
here.
Yeah,
Cassidy?
he said he was trapped at work. He said, I guess there's snowing out there.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I got no snow over here by me. I'm in Selden, so I don't see no
Mm,
snow. Some spots do got
Uh,
it.
yeah.
well, one of the things Lucian wanted to do, and Cassidy comes along, is make his way to the House of Inspired Hand. Um,
Mm,
something Lucian not very pretty anxious to try and do, although he has to remind himself that it's not all Gon worshippers or servants of Gon, just a specialized group that keeping an eye on him. And he
hmm
hasn't heard or seen anything about them in quite some time, which seems suspicious on its own. But
mm.
with Cassidy along, and with his knowledge, might make things a lot smoother with dealing with anybody that might be against what Lucian is.
Yeah, I took that ring of mind shielding with me too.
Okay, yeah,
Want to
you
put?
did mention that.
Yeah, I'll take that with me.
Um, you're as your characters are making the two of you are making your way through the streets to get to this Temple of Dawn. Um, as you're in the vicinity, in an alley nearby, you can hear the cries of someone very angry and distraught. Feminine voice, small voice, calling out, "Thief!
Uh,
Thief! Get off! What are you on?" And then you hear a blam! And it's a extremely familiar sound because Lucian's all
oh
about it.
God! Everybody's got guns now. There's always some weird shit happening to me. Uh, um, you see Lucian startled because he's not used to hearing another gunshot other than his, and he's looking around like, "What the fuck?" And he runs over to the sound of the gunshot.
Wasn't it was close by. It was just a little bit, just about 15 more feet down the street they were on and into an alley to the left. And so as you rush down and you turn, you see oh, I had this open. Shit. Mm, Dragon Magazine 355. Okay. I thought I had the crypto text for this. There it is. You see, on the floor, um, with a little blood on the floor and on the but and holding her shoulder, you see, a rock gnome. And she's got all sorts of like tools hooked to her, like various belts and bandoliers around her, and some strange other contraptions. And um,
Do I recognize any of them? Or
we are not sure of the contraptions that she has, although she does seem to have um uh a powder horn,
Hmm.
which she knows is mainly used to for firearms,
Carry,
for putting fire.
right?
But she's on the floor and um she's like grabbing one of her like she's like fumbling to like for one of her contraptions that she has on her, and you can see like this contraption she grabs is like kind of sparking with electricity. But the assailant that's standing over her with the smoking gun,
Oh man.
he sees a rather interesting looking. It's a pistol. Um, but this pistol appears to be like masterwork and um he can tell and he can see magical runes like etched on the sides of the barrel. But
Yeah.
wearing like this masterwork studded leather armor and a pistol in one hand, but a rapier that's a rapier blade that's hooked to his sheath, hooked to his belt. Um, sees a what appears to be a pale, muscular figure with bulging, fiery eyes and angular features that give it a rather strangely devilish appearance. And clad from head to toe in this slick black leather, got very long fingers that end in curved metal claws. And he
Yeah.
turns over once he sees you and Cassidy come quickly around the corner to see what's going on. And Cassidy can either take 10 or roll a knowledge nature.
Cassie roll a take. He'll take 10.
Take 10.
He'll just take the 10. Can he do knowledge local? Does he know him as well?
Hold up. Yeah. Yeah, knowledge local could knowledge nature. Oh, he is not trained in it. So
But doesn't like Bard?
oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
Bard of knowledge that
He can
does
make it
everything.
untrained. Yeah. He can make it untrained. It's just that his bonus isn't that high. It's only +6. So it's either a 16 or you can roll for it.
I'll take the 16. Fuck it.
Right? Okay, so he's not sure
Uh,
what this creature is, although there's something about it that's familiar. And with the local check that he has,
what's the local?
it's either 27 or roll for it.
Uh, I'll take the 27.
The Cassidy recognizes he's not sure what this person or being is, but from the appearance, he's able to recall stories about who this being might be. And he's heard about this. He's heard of Spring Heel Mac.
Yeah. This is Spring Hill Mac.
And the reason he's called Spring Heel Mac is because it is said that he is a spring heel, which is a type of fae. Um, and that's as much as
Can we do a
Cassidy
knowledge?
knows because he didn't have the knowledge nature check wasn't enough
Do
to.
do a pass for the face. Can he re-roll it? Does he have a talent
Wait,
to
he
re-roll it
does
or
have
anything?
something actually. He has Lore Master once a day.
Oh yeah, we'll do that.
He can take. He has Lore Master. He could take 20 on a knowledge check.
Okay, yeah. He'll do that
He'll do
for
that
the
for the
nature check.
nature. All right. Well, that helps. So that would give him a 26 for the creature type. He is a spring heel, which is a fey. And I know you're like, damn, what's the Lucian bumping into fey creatures all the time?
All the time, man.
The
It's
urban
me.
ones, the urban
It's
ones.
just me. It's me and these fucking phase out here going at
the
it.
the
I got
boogeyman
stabbed
and
by
then
one.
the spring heel. Now it's a spring heel.
Now I got one with a gun.
Um,
All right, cool.
as the spring heel looks at you, as looks at the two of you with those eyes,
Okay.
I'm gonna need the two of them to make a will saving throw for sure.
Can I get the knowledge of nature check on the spring
But the
heel?
knowledge nature check reveals that it is a spring heel, which is a fey creature. It is a wicked fey. They are the embodiment of the senseless violence that plagues civilization. They are urban fey creatures, preferring to prey on the weak and defenseless, known to attack randomly and from surprise if they're able to. They can leap from hiding and affect as many creatures as possible with their frightful presence, and pouncing on those that are easy prey afterward. Um, they are always in constant motion on the battlefield, leaping and tumbling from place to place to try and avoid attacks. Highly, extremely dexterous beings. And as with all Fae, they do fear cold iron weaponry. and will prefer to flee from fight that they know they cannot win. Um, they are as much part of the natural world as any Fae, but they form a particularly brutal and malicious embodiment. They are druids who believe that spring heels are nature's response to cities, an assault against civilization. Although spring heels kill without hesitation, they do not consume the bodies of their victims, but they might mutilate them. There are sages who theorize that they feed not on flesh, but on pain and terror. There are members of the upper class that refuse to believe that spring heels even exist. They prefer to think of them as legends told by their inferiors to scare each other. Sightings of them are attributed to either drunken pranks or hysteria, and the murders they cause can be blamed on more mundane killers. Victims of a spring heel, of course, do believe in them, and their tales are all too often dismissed. Spring heels are known to have a vicious sense of humor. Sometimes they will make more public appearances in better parts of town, savoring the panic its random attacks can cause. They're typically solitary creatures, but there have been stories of those that can form into vicious gangs, or even joining up with other evil fae, such as splinter waifs or redcaps. Most of them are male. The female spring heels are either very rare or very secretive. There are very few encounters with those who are female. Now, spring heels can be found wherever people congregate in large numbers, most often in human cities, but there have been reports of dwarven citadels having similar creatures. They gravitate toward large communities, stalking slums and shanty towns in search of meals. They prefer to attack the poor as their plight is more easily ignored, and disappearances are less frequently questioned. By their very nature, they are violent and deranged, although a few particularly cunning and restrained individuals. So they're typically chaotic evil, although there are some that can be neutral evil. Um, there is a local check does work on them. Okay, it was either local or nature. Okay, cool.
Okay.
The poor sometimes whisper about a deranged killer who can leap great distances. Probably nothing more than drunken babble, but those stories are true. They are nasty monsters called spring heels that hunt people in the slums, and some say they can breathe fire. Uh, Not all Fae are native to woodland glens. Some of them live in cities, and not all of them are night. The spring heels are urban Fae, known to leap great distances and attacking people seemingly at random. They do have a fiery breath, and they inspire fear by their very presence. Like most Fae, they fear the touch of cold iron. They rely on the fact that authority figures don't believe in them to attack with impunity. Some say that the first spring heels Some say that the first spring heel was a mad druid who gave up on his humanity in exchange for the ability to punish the sins of civilization. Um, so yeah, they're pretty
uh,
dexterous. They're capable. They are harmed by cold iron. They're capable. They are fast healers as well, so they will run off and just heal themselves back up.
it's kind of hard to heal
They
when you get
do.
fucking massive damage.
They do spit fire. They got that frightful presence. They are extremely reflexive, so they do have evasion. They
Hmm.
uh
Are we gonna find out?
they have a very unearthly grace about them, and being fey, so they do add their charisma modifier to their saving throws, as well as a deflection bonus to their armor class. Um
Uh,
Now they are indeed great at leaping.
all right. Well, yeah. Sounds fantastic. Sounds like fun.
Uh
Lucian looks over at
roll
Cass
will.
and he's like, "What the fuck?" I rolled Will. You want to roll
You
for
roll.
Cassidy? I'll roll. I'll
Yeah,
just
well,
roll you.
Cassidy has a +9. Yeah, +9.
Uh, add 9 to that for Cassidy.
All right. Where's the DC? Where is the DC? Do I not have it? There it is. Okay. Um, hmm.
Cassidy freaking out. It's like, holy
Lucian,
fucking shit.
Lucian and Cassidy both passed their will saves against the frightful presence. Lucian almost Lucian almost lost his nerve, but he
Mm-hmm.
just passed.
Let's see Lucian like, thought you were scary. You thought you were scary. Not that
Um,
scary, bro.
but you you can roll initiative.
Oh shit. Lucian got some action. Damn.
Let's get action, bro. I just want to go shopping, yo. I want to get into a gunfight.
You ran towards the gunfight?
Red, I did. I did. I did.
You're the only black person I know that
I
would run
did.
towards
I
gunfight.
had to. I had to. You know, curiosity, bro. Every time I gotta look. I gotta look. Um, can can Cassidy start his song too? Or no? Is that like a
When his turn comes up.
okay? Would that be before initiative, or would I get initiative first? Well, I guess I ran at it
Yeah,
first. So
you guys gotta. Yeah, you all. Yeah, you both roll initiative.
okay.
We got. Okay. And Cassidy's got a
And
+3 on his. All right. So with
we should make eye contact
with the swiftness as it looks towards the two of you, and before the two of you were able to, as you were resisting those blazing eyes, fiery eyes that looked at you as you resisted that frightfulness it was giving off. It quickly sprung into action right before the two of you could do so.
Of course, I roll low now.
Um, and what it does is yep, it's what it does is it looks at the two of you and it just grins, and then it you see it what appears to be pulling out a chemical cartridge, loads the pistol. As he's doing that, um, he like swiftly turns and runs at the wall, and he runs up the wall, pushes off, and leaps to the because it's an alley, leaps to the other wall, and he bounces back and forth and gets to the rooftop.
Damn.
Lucian's like
That
looking up. He sees him bounce
hardcore.
off the wall. He said, "Oh, it's fucking finally a little competition." Lucian has this big wide grin as he focuses in on a.
As for the rock gnome on the floor, she starts to stand up. She takes out a potion. She drinks it. Well, actually she's fumbling around her gear, like trying to. She's like, where's that damn potion? Ah, oh, and she drinks. She looks over to you two, and she's like, Yeah, not many can catch Mac. Probably long gone now.
And Lucian says, "Who the fuck is Mac? Is that thing that jumped off the roof?
Famous spring heel here in Waterdeep. Authorities have yet to catch him.
What's his
Does
beef with you?"
nothing. Just a thief. Took one of the firearms I was working with. That pistol. In
What?
fact,
You
he's been hanging around here a bit too much. I heard he's stolen firearms from those who have purchased one. So I'd watch your. Oh wait, you have. Wow. Mind if I look and see like
uh
patters patters over with all these weird contraptions and around her and on her belt and over her backpack, like just jangling like crazy as she's like
Lucian's
brushing
a
over
little
them.
nervous. He's a little nervous about showing people his pistol after it's been snatched from him twice already. So he's like, you can look but don't touch. And he holds it out and kind of turns it over in front of her.
And you see her, you see like these goggles that are over her eyes and makes her eyes look bigger, and she's like, "Oh wow, fascinating."
Lucian's like, "Are
You,
you a gunsmith?"
she's like, "A gunsmith?" He chuckles. She's like, "I am that and much more there, boy."
Lucian's like, "What do you mean by much more?"
He goes, "Well, first, let me thank the two of you for scaring him off like that. There's not many that could." And she's like, you see, you notice that she was actually shaken, but she's like trying to play it off like she wasn't. Um, but she's like, there's not many that could have scared off Mac that quickly. I'm sure he saw you as a threat. The two of you look very like like adventurous for sure. He goes, my name is Fensiga Stumblegear.
Uh, Lucian goes, I am, "My name is Lucian, and this is Cassidy. We're from a group called Night Watch."
He goes, she goes, Night Watch. I don't
Said,
recall.
maybe you heard of us. The
Hmm.
chimera that got shot down in the square.
I have heard rumors about that. I I thought it from the description. I thought maybe somebody was using a firearm to have taken that down, but I came to investigate and because I was curious and well, you guys were already gone, so that was you. Wow,
Yeah. I mean, like maybe you've heard of Zerzog's passing as well. That was us as well.
Zerzog? She scratches her head. No, don't recall a name like that, but
Sense motive. Sorry,
yeah, you can roll one.
I I got to. Just wanted to
He's like,
double
I got
check.
it, just in case.
Just want to check real quick. It's been a long campaign. Okay, I got it.
uh, you don't get any bad vibes. You don't get there's nothing off, nothing
All
weird.
right, cool.
She seems pretty genuine and you do notice that he uh he does have like would she? He does wear like a smock as well, but like the smock and the smock has like the symbol of Gond on it.
Mm,
Um, but she goes, well, she's like, I don't meet too
I
many
don't meet.
she goes, I don't meet too many that enjoy using firearms. I enjoy not just building them and working on them, but studying them and finding new ways of enhancing them and
Mm,
he goes, uh she goes, I also know how to make the smoke powder, and she goes, I also know she goes, there are some modifications I could do to this that would make it very, very helpful for you. And she's like, oh, sorry. You can see she's like a
Lucian,
little addled 'cause she's like
right?
she
So
gets excited
excited.
when yeah, like with
Yeah.
like
You see the
contraptions
wonder in
and
the
firearms.
eyes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she goes, listen, out of gratitude, should you ever need and she like um she does a familiar wave of her hands and he's able to tell that she's working like a spell. And like you see magic roiling in her hand. She's like, should you ever have need of me to like work on or enchant more power
Mm.
within those firearms that you have there. Like you can come to me. It's the least I can do for you, saving my life. Who knows what Mac would have done to me? He has been known to kill.
I don't think Lucian's like, yeah. He looked like a killer. He looked like a killer. He looked like he was out for blood.
She goes, and you
Um,
know what?
what else?
Should you ever do find and manage to kill Mac, that firearm that he took from me, it's yours.
Lucian's like, oh, you're putting like a little bounty on his head, huh?
That's right. A menace like that needs to be getting rid of here in Waterdeep. And sometimes, yeah,
Do you know?
the
Do you
watch.
know where he usually stays at?
Oh no, Green Hill Mac can be anywhere.
It's known to frequent.
Although he usually sighted around in the dock ward, but he does occasionally come around here. But he usually he does occasionally come around here because he seems to have been taking a fascination with firearms. He seems to have a lot of fun with it, and sometimes people hear the gunfires at night, and before as they see Mac running across the rooftops.
Mm.
But she goes, yes. So, should you have need of any sort of magical enhancement for your firearm, just bring
Lucian
me.
says,
She goes, just bring me the resources and I'll get it done. And uh, out of further gratitude, I won't even take full price on the first upgrade. So in other words,
mm,
you could pay for like if you want her to upgrade, put
mhm.
magic on it, you only need to give her half instead of
Can
paying
I
for the full
can I get a
price.
discount on? Can I get a discount on just one enchantment, or just like maybe? Can I get like a bundle? Can I do like three enchantments and then get it all cut?
If you have the resources, it'll count as one upgrade. Yeah, if you
Okay,
have the resources, and if she has
the enchant.
she needs the time and
Gotcha,
the skill, obviously,
gotcha.
because the more you put on there, the spellcraft DC would probably jump up. So, but she'll let
Right.
you know. She's not gonna work on something that that she might fail on.
Hmm. Lucian asks. He goes, "What type of pistol did he get from you?"
Ah, well, and she describes to you the pistol that she made, but she says she had enhanced it with second degree magic. She made it match. She doubled the magic that was so basically she made it a +2 pistol.
Two.
Um, but it also had as she described the magic on it. Um, it was a firearm that she made that upon command it allowed the firearm to deal to pulverize inanimate object easier.
Oh,
Um, So basically, it was a weapon that could do an extra 2d6 damage on object or crystalline creatures, and it ignores the hardness of objects with 5 or lower.
Nice. Damn. If only I rolled a higher initiative, y'all. Could have had me a pistol. Only I could have been a little bit quicker.
Gunslinger's initiative.
Yeah, man, I fucked it up. Rolled a 3
What was your bonus? Let me see. Your bonus is plus 12. Oh,
plus 12.
that's funny because that's the
Yeah.
same bonus. That's the same bonus that Mac had.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm a fucking quick. I'm a
quick. Yeah, no, I've
quick
been quick.
heals.
This whole it's fast. I got decent speed. It just uh, that 3 got me. 3 got me.
Um,
Anything higher would have been all right.
but yeah, you know.
10
So
higher.
yeah, so you have information on where Mac usually, but the fact that that he
Plus
has
2
a weird
polarizing pistol.
the fact that Mac has a weird obsession with fire.
Yeah, I
Um,
might not want to bring him on.
yeah, Lucian's it should you know should there be some time Lucian's hunting them down, it won't be it won't take long to find Mac.
Yeah, because he'll be looking for me.
You pop the firearm off a couple of times somewhere where you think he's around, and he might show up. Like,
You
who's
shoot a
got
flare up and
because he's known to steal them. He'll either steal them or
of
he'll kill
course.
or he'll kill the person and take it. But
Of course. Of course.
Lucian might be.
I'm not. I'm on the list. I'm on the list. Makes sense. Oh, God. This is when I lose my plus 2 pistol. That's when you take the plus 2 pistol away for a whole level.
um, but yeah, I guess
Uh yeah,
he that was one of the things. Well, I mean, he didn't even need to go to the house of he was on his way there, but
yeah.
he got
That's
what he needed.
what he needed.
He met
He was
Fensiga stumbled. Actually, let me write her name down. So
yeah, let me write that down.
Fensiga stumbled.
Mm, mm.
Player character. No quests. Where's my outline? Uh, oh, where is it? Oh no, it's not in this file. Shit. Where'd I put it? Or did I write it somewhere else? Fuck. See, it's
Pol-
I be having quest notes, but that shit's never in the
what's that?
same spot.
Polarizing? You said it was a polarizing pistol?
It was a breaking.
Yeah.
It
Breaking.
yeah, breaking.
Breaking. Gotcha. I was looking at that enchantment too. That's crazy.
Well, I had one for Cassidy, but he's not here tonight. And I
Still
can't
got
find.
Adelar, right?
Yeah, I can't find Adler's. Yeah,
Oh, that's what you mean.
maybe I wrote
He's
it down.
invisible. Casting invisibility.
Right. Open your eyes. And
And I'll
could
have
have
to
shot faster. Then I would have had to beat his plus 38 touch AC.
well, Cassidy's was him going to the Thayan Enclave and bringing Lucian and whoever else wanted to go along because he wanted to show you guys the Enclave to help you guys acquire, magic that you may need, and
Mm,
at a discount.
and at a discount.
Um,
Discount double check.
but yeah, so basically, you guys would have access to the Thayan Enclave. So, um, yeah, I'll have to do that for when he shows up next week. And I can't find. I have something for Adler, but I don't. I must have wrote it down on paper then. Fuck. Thought I had it, and I thought I had it typed out in the document. And I can't find it.
Man went old school with it, low tech. No,
Right.
Oh,
no true tech.
cause I have yeah, I have
Notepad and shit.
I have a small notepad, and when I'm at work, fucking, I'll be thinking up shit, and I'll write it down so I don't forget it.
Right.
But
Think
I
so.
think his shit, it's gotta be in here. I could have swore I typed it. No. Well, I'll have to do Adler's and Cassidy's next weekend. But I do know how it starts off. I do know with Adler, as him and Xander are, on the streets of Waterdeep going about their business, and Adler trying to figure out first step to, I guess, learning about the Shadow Dusks, and then I guess trying to trying to follow leads. I guess trying to be a
Yeah.
little trying to do detective work. Um, he hears, how you have those people out in the street, the doomsayers, the ones that are out in the streets, like the end times are nigh kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much how Adler was pre the
Yeah.
story.
Mm.
Um, he hears he sees like a really old Kandothan human on the streets. Him and Xander, and the man's this man is disheveled and all raggedy and homeless looking, and he's yelling out and preaching of the end times that are coming. Um, but as he's preaching that out, he's preaching out the both of them actually, the both of them would notice that the man's preaching out the end times are coming. The green worms, they will fester within you all.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that's how it starts.
All right, cool. I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
So
Jeez.
yeah,
Just we could
obviously
start
stay
that
with me.
start right with that one. Extra
Yeah,
session this weekend?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll start right with that one. That way, by the time Dave shows up, I'll be able to switch to him.
Right,
Well, y'all already know me since I'm currently unemployed. I have plenty of time to play D&D.
right. So you got some free time this weekend? Got a little free time this weekend?
Hey,
Certainly.
I don't got no kids this weekend, so if we're trying to get an extra Age of Worms in somewhere, I could do that.
Yeah, I'll be down for it.
Oh snap! Oh,
All right, gents. That was a lovely role play session.
Little role play session. I'm mad I didn't get to fucking beat that thing in initiative. Missed out on the free pistol, man.
Good night,
Stay
guys.
All right, Joe.
Great
Good night,
Um,
fellas. Oh, no more?
What?
One
um,
more?
yeah, we can go over all the treasure shit and what who's buying what. Because I pretty much introduce your characters to all manner of you
connects.
got the yeah, got
Yeah.
you got the for Xander, he's got the chapel and the shops that are nearby, and um for Sophia, she's they say, I read that the House of Wonders, they don't really deal in like magic item selling or anything like that. That's usually the purview of the Watchful Order. Um so like she can she can obviously get her stuff from there and from other shops that are in town, and same with Luna. Plus Luna's got, access to like any stuff that she would need from like the Saloonites. And then
Cassidy.
Cassidy got hooking everybody up with the Thane enclaves, so they got anything from there. And then
Bro,
Lucian's
if I
got,
could get spells from this coven,
dude, you can get
ready for
scrolls
that.
here in Waterdeep or at the fucking enclave. But yeah, I would say the coven, if it's a witch only spell, definitely would have an easier time getting it at the coven than at Waterdeep. I mean, it could be in, that's such a spell like that would be in Waterdeep, but there's not a really lot of witch only spells anyway. So most of the spells that she gets is like on the sorcerer and wizard list. So she should be able to find a bunch of those in town. But yeah, well, definitely the coven is another way for, yeah, because they'll have familiars and they can just. I'll say this: the coven will freely trade spells for her spells. Like, all right, let's study each other's familiars and get magic. Um, so yeah, we can go over the gear and who's getting what.
Oh, yeah. Are we getting everything or not?
And oh yeah, Lucian, you got your firearm dealer person now.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, like the magic items we asked for or not? We ain't getting that shit. Like the
What do you
arms
mean?
and armor, like the arms and armor and stuff the magic arms and armor we asked for.
Yeah, you can get that done. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
so we could find like I could find the ring of blinking. I could find or
Oh well, yeah. Like looking, yeah. Obviously, we got to do a mix. I got to see
yeah,
who's actually searching for an item. I'll let you know if it's there or not. And
right. The availability.
I'll need to know who's crafting, and I'll need to know who's commissioning a craft or who's purchasing. Yeah, yeah. I'll need to know all of that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Put all that in the downtime and
It's already in the downtime already. I think we closed
Yeah,
that.
it's been there.
all the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know I said
it's been there.
everybody's downtime activities already there.
Okay. Well, well, I think I saw activities, but
No, we put the items in there too.
the items
We
are in there too. Okay.
Pichardo had a whole damn fucking
yeah, I saw
breakdown. I did too
I did
with the cash.
Okay,
yeah.
I see it. Okay, I
I
see
meant to
some items.
I meant to make that a +1 to the musket, not a +1 to the pistol though. But that's about the only thing I need to be changed,
I
and
think
maybe some ammo.
I think the only one I'm missing is yeah, Rick hasn't
Updated it. Gosh,
yeah,
yeah,
Rick's the
we've
only
been we had
Rick's
that
the
in there
only one
like
that
day
hasn't.
one.
I think Rick said he wanted to like just upgrade what he already has or something. He was talking about it. I can't remember what he said, but I'll ask
I
him.
mean, the motherfuckers had $70,000 to spend, yo, and just got a
Right.
free and just got a free 50K. They just showed up to the party.
The 50K.
Yeah,
Oh, you're talking about the new
the
guys.
recent
The new
haul.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's a windfall right there.
Right.
And in the perfect spot.
Man, we couldn't ask for anything better
Uh,
with downtime.
with downtime, right?
With downtime.
It was a long time coming. They're coming. We're like, oh shit. Need to come to Waterdeep and stay in Waterdeep.
Money and downtime. I'll never leave Waterdeep.
Oh shit. All right. I mean, if
All
we
right.
if
I'm
people
f-
are free enough
I'm free all
over
I'm
the
free all
weekend or
weekend.
whatever,
I don't know if anybody else is, but
yeah,
Oh
I'll
well,
do another
tomorrow
session.
in a few hours I'm going to Pennsylvania, Great Wolf Lodge
oh,
with my kids. But I'll be
oh,
back.
Okay.
I'll be back Saturday night though. So I'm down Saturday night. I'll be
oh,
here
okay,
late. But tomorrow I'm definitely not gonna be available though. Friday.
Right.
gotcha.
But Saturday night or Sunday, I'm good. I'm I'm Gucci.
But
All righty. All right then.
I feel like it's all of us. We just gotta get rich and shit.
I'm usually free every Friday. It just happens my kids were off this week, so I'm like, man, they got to do something before they go back to school Monday. So I'm taking them
Hmm.
to that indoor water park that they have in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Friday, so they could be in the indoor water park from Friday, and then we staying at the resort there, and then coming back like the next day at 4 or 5 p.m. Yeah, so
Well, that's dope. That's a
yeah,
nice little vacation, little one day, little quick thing.
a little 1 day vacation, yeah, 1 2 day
Yeah.
vacation.
Well, how many people are in here? Maybe I could
Yeah,
lead everybody
but Saturday
here.
night, man, I'm down.
Let's
Shoot.
see like a raid. I'm gonna
I'm
raid
about to.
somebody real quick.
But yeah, that is yeah. Well, fellas, I'll see you later.
Alrighty, you have a good night.
Easy, bro.
Mm, are these people live? We're gonna raid Insomnia Night RPG.